All right, next game. I thought this one was interesting. I wish we had Soundman here. Maybe I'll plug in some his actual play here. But the Bills, Washington football team at the Bills. Bills favored by 9. Total is 45 and a half. Keith, I'm gonna actually start with you on this one. What do you think about this game? I thought it was interesting, the number here, 9.
Yeah, to me, the number is interesting. Is probably my summation of the game. At 7, I would have liked to play the Bills just because I do think that they're much better than the Redskins at the look ahead. I feel like the number at this point has gotten a little away from me that I would like to play it. I believe in it. I am of the opinion that the Redskins got to upgrade at quarterback when Fitzpatrick went down. When it's all said and done, I know it's a small sample size, but I feel like the eye test and everything will probably agree with me there. But you asked the question, what do we learn about X team? What do we learn about Y? I still have yet to learn anything about the Browns, to me personally. I mean, about the Bills personally yet this year. I still have to see it. Obviously, they came out with the loss to the Steelers, looking a little shaky. You could say fluky, but I mean, that's how the Steelers play. That's how you expect them to get wins. And then last week against the backup quarterback, Brissett, no one's expecting Brissett to be out there. They completely demolished them. They're actually running the ball. So you know that's not the Bills that we're going to see all year. It's close to a stay away from me at -9. I'm interested to hear what everyone else thinks, honestly.
Rome, what do you got for him? What do you think about this game? Bills -9.
There's one angle I'm looking to play. Well, two angles I'm looking to play on this game. And while it may seem correlated to the total, I don't want parts of the overall game total. Looking to play Washington football team total team under here on the road. Heineke start on the road in Buffalo. Obviously, Bills Mafia will be in attendance. So, he hasn't played in a professional football game with fans in the stands on the road yet. Looking forward to see how he produces and how he's able to, move that ball down the field and get in the end zone. And then also on the opposite side, looking to play the Bills total team over. So if you don't like this 9, you don't like the 7, don't be square and play the money line on the Bills. You pick a side. You pick a number that's around 110. And the angle for me is going to be Bills total team over, because I think this offense, what happened last in week 1, if we have real context of that game, they're up. They're up double digits in that game. And they start playing lackadaisical, turn the ball over, being lazy. And then the Steelers creep back in with short field and turnovers. So last week we saw against the Miami defense that we think is formidable. Last year it was top 10, and they were able to score points and put up points with no problem, 35 of those points. So they come back home here against a non-conference foe in the Washington football team. And I don't know about you guys, but I was not too impressed with what we saw from the front 7 in the Washington football team last Thursday. Maybe it was short week. Who knows? But the Giants' offensive line is ranked 30 before the season started. They had no problem moving the ball up and down the field. If anything, they got in their own way late in that game. So I'm not too high on this Washington football defense right now. We know the names. We know what their predictions and what they're expected to be, but we haven't seen it yet in 2 weeks. And specifically, I mean, think about week 1. Chase was not looking sharp in week 1. And, Jonathan Allen made a couple plays on Thursday, but they haven't been able to put it all the way together. They get the rookie linebacker, JD, and he hasn't been able to put it together. He's getting pancaked all over the field. If you watch the film, he's getting pancaked. So he's just not there professionally yet. His defense is not playing very cohesive right now. Give me the Bills total team over. And if you want to get spicy with it, I would take the under on the Washington football team points.
All right, Mike, how do you feel about this game? Bills favored by 9, total 45 and a half against Washington football team.
Yeah, that was low key a lot by Rome, but I respect it. But I lean with the Bills here. I've been going kind of back and forth, but I lean with the Bills. It's just like when I was like Rome said, the Giants were moving the ball at will, and just look at the personnel that the Bills have: Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. Like, if they can take that same exact blueprint, they can move the ball the same exact way. Like, it won't be an issue. So I just lean with the Bills. Obviously, 9. The number 9 shows, I think it opened at 9.5, but the number 9 shows that the books don't believe in Heineke yet. They're obviously on the road, and they don't believe in it. They just don't believe in the Washington football team. They want to see more, and from that standpoint, I just got to lean with the Bills.
And I think 9 is one of those numbers. 9 is one of those key numbers. I know a lot of people don't think it is, but 3, 4, 6, and 7 are obviously key numbers. But I think 9 is also a key number because that's the first number that says they are 2 possessions better.
Mm-hmm.
And, obviously you get 3 points for being home field. Bills Mafia should earn those 3 points. That's a Rockets place to go into play. So they're saying this team is 6 points better with Taylor Heineke, I agree. I mean, this is the top team in the AFC, and this is a team in the NFC East that won that division last year we all know, won under 500 and barely snuck in and lose first round. So if we look at these two teams, they're not on the same tier. So if they're not on the same tier, what are we going to use to differentiate tiers? I mean, I would think tier 1 and tier 2, the top of tier 1, which would be the Bills. They were the third best team in pro football last year. If we're doing rankings, obviously go to AFC Championship, third best pro football team, and the Washington football team, who snuck in at the 8th seed. So you got bottom tier 2, top of tier 1. I would say there's a difference of 6 points between those two teams. And I don't think much has changed in terms of roster on those two teams. So I think that's still an accurate thing to go by. And I think if you like the Bills here, you lay that 9.
Yeah, for me, Rome, I agree with you there. I think I'm going to actually lay the 9. It's a lean for me right now, but actually I'll go to a like. I mean, this Washington football team is, the first 2 weeks of the season has not been the defense that we were accustomed to last year. We talk about the Bills. This, hasn't gotten up to that key number of 10. But when we talk about them under Sean McDermott, that's their head coach. They're 26-18-2 against the spread, non-division games, 22-15 against the spread after a win. So I like those stats. I like the fact they're at home, the Bills Mafia. If you take away the 3 points for the home field, this is just saying Bills -6. So I agree with that. And I think the Washington football team may have some struggles considering that they've had the Heineke and the Terry McLaurin's, Logan Tom, all of that on film for, a couple games now, 2 to 3 games. And it's something that the Bills can kind of work towards. Like I said, they're at home, that Bills Mafia. I know Soundman's out there listening, so that Bills Mafia. I'm going to back the Bills -9 here and before it gets to 9.5 and 10. So I'll back the Bills -9. It's a like for me.